There is a place hidden far above the world, where the air grows quiet and time drifts slowly, where the winds hush their voices and the stars hum in harmony with the silence. And if you close your eyes and let the weight of the day slip from your shoulders, you may begin to feel it not as a place you travel to, but as a space that gently unfolds around you. It's called forth by stillness and the soft letting go of thought, and in that space, floating gently above the clouds, rests the library of forgotten dreams, a vast ethereal sanctuary that glows faintly in the starlight. Its towers and walls made not of stone or brick, but of something soft, of memory and moonlight, of stories never told aloud, of thoughts whispered to no one and held only for a moment before fading into sleep. And tonight you find yourself slowly drifting toward it, not walking or flying, but simply gliding, as if the air itself is carrying you on a warm and invisible tide. And below you, the world has grown dim and distant, the landscape melting into darkness, while above, the sky is brushed with soft clouds and a scattering of stars that blink as if nodding gently at your arrival. And the library comes into view, not all at once, but gradually, its tall domes and spiraling towers emerging from the mist like old friends stepping into the light. And you feel no rush, no urgency, only the deep, slow rhythm of calm. And as you near the grand archway at its entrance, the massive doors open soundlessly before you, revealing a great hall filled with a golden glow, and your feet do not touch the ground. You simply drift inward, weightless, and welcomed the space around you, expanding into warmth and quiet wonder. And all around you, endless shelves rise into the heights of the library's interior, each one lined with books that emit a faint, steady light, not bright, but gentle, like the soft glow of fireflies or stars, reflected in a still lake. And the air smells of old pages, lavender, and a hint of rain. On warm stone, and though no one is seen, the library feels alive, as though it breathes slowly with you. Its every wall and stairway filled with the energy of waiting stories, of dreams, paused mid-moment, resting patiently to be remembered. And your body, though not quite physical, feels deeply at peace here, as though it belongs in this place made of quiet things. And as you pass shelf after shelf, you begin to hear the faintest sounds, pages turning, a book humming softly as it settles into its place, the creak of invisible ladders shifting gently in the distant sand. These sounds do not disturb the silence, but rather deepen it, like ripples across a still pond, that make the stillness more real, more present. And as you drift onward, you pass a chamber with a ceiling shaped like the inside of a star, each beam of light pulsing in time with your breath. And in that room, you see a table where a single book rests open, its pages filled, not with words, but with soft, moving images, dreams, perhaps forgotten and yet still alive. It's playing slowly like scenes viewed through morning fog, and though you do not understand them, you feel their warmth, their familiarity, the sense that they once belonged to you, or to someone you used to be. And the pages turn themselves, never rushing, never waiting, simply flowing from one image to the next, as though guided by the rhythm of your heartbeat. And when you gently float away, the book remains open, glowing a little brighter now, as if grateful to have been seen again. And deeper still you go, into quieter parts of the library, where the air feels denser, not heavy, but rich, like velvet draped across your shoulders. And here, the books are older, their glow softer, and the walls curve inward as if protecting what lies here. And a new room opens before you, round, warm, filled with shelves carved into the stone itself, with books stacked in patterns like constellations. And above you, the ceiling is a glass dome, showing a sky not of this world, filled with unfamiliar stars and drifting lights that seem to swim like fish in a slow-motion ocean of air. And in the center of the room rests a bed not your own, but one that somehow feels meant for you, its covers soft and rumpled, its frame shaped like a crescent moon, and you lie down without thought, without effort. And the bed lifts gently into the air, floating as your breath slows further. Your eyes fluttering shut, though you are not yet asleep, and above you, glowing letters begin to form in the air. Not in any language you know, but in a script that feels familiar to your soul. And those letters drift down like petals, brushing your skin, dissolving into warmth in memory, and you begin to remember dreams you never knew you had. Fragments of places and faces of laughter and light of stories that never reached their end, but were never truly lost. Either only stored kept here in this sanctuary of forgotten things, and as you rest, the library shifts gently around. You're not moving in space, but deepening, as though it is folding closer to you, wrapping you in shelves and softness, and for a long while, there is nothing but the slow rhythm of your breath and the subtle warmth of the stories pressing close, not to be read, but to be felt, to be absorbed in sleep and rest and quiet acceptance. And when you drift again through its halls, you find a staircase that leads nowhere and everywhere, each step made of light and air, and you climb, without effort, rising into a tower filled with floating candles that flicker in time with the hush of the wind. And here, the books do not rest on shelves, but drift like feathers, slow and steady, circling you in patterns that feel like lullabies. And when one opens, you see not pages, but dreams made real, fields of soft grass under a violet sky, a river of stars that flows not with water, but with light, a forest where every tree glows from within and breathes like a living thing. And in that moment, the library no longer feels like a place you've come to, but a part of you, a home you've always carried, where every forgotten hope and every silent wish has come to rest and wait and glow. And the longer you remain, the deeper the peace becomes. As if the library is not only a sanctuary for stories, but for your own stillness. It's a quiet mirror to your slowest breath and most peaceful thought. And eventually, you reach a room with no doors and no shelves, just walls made of starlight and a floor that reflects the entire sky. And in the center is a globe suspended in air, slowly turning, and inside it, you see moments, not stories, but emotions, tiny scenes of joy, comfort, wonder, and belonging, spinning gently and glowing softly. And as you approach, the globe opens soundlessly, inviting you in, and you step or, perhaps, drift into its light, where time folds entirely, and you are nowhere but here, feeling only peace, only warmth, only a softness that wraps around your heart and quiets even your deepest thoughts. And here, you rest once more, floating in that space, the globe slowly closing around you like the arms of the universe, and far away, or perhaps all around you, the library of forgotten dreams continues to glow, to breathe, to cradle the stories of the world, and you become one of them. Not lost, not forgotten, only sleeping, only held, only home. And as you drift even deeper into this endless sanctuary, time slows until it feels like a soft breath drawn in and never fully exhaled. And in the far corners of the library, those shadowed alcoves where even the glow of starlight dims, there exist rooms that rarely open, rooms that respond not to footsteps, but to stillness, not to sight, but to serenity. And as you approach one such hidden passage, the wall beside you softens like a curtain stirred by wind, revealing an archway made of folded dreams, pages layered over one another, like petals of an unopened flower. And the moment you float through it, the air changes thick with memory. But not your memory, not entirely, more like the memory of the world itself, of things imagined long ago and quietly set aside. And here, the shelves are different, curved in spiral, some rising up like vines, others dipping into the floor like roots, and each book here hums more deeply, as if its dream has grown richer in its long rest. And when you float past a particularly old volume, it opens, slowly, reverently, revealing not a story, but a sensation, of holding someone's hand for the first time, of watching snow fall through a golden window, of laughter echoing down an endless hallway. And though you don't know whose dream it was, it wraps around your chest with the warmth of something once felt and deeply loved. And in this room, time does not move forward, but around you, curling like smoke. And the more you rest within it, the more your breath aligns with the rhythm of the books themselves, until you are no longer reading, no longer watching, but simply existing as part of the dreamscape, a living piece of peace in your thoughts. Now, so soft they barely stir the air, begin to melt into filling colors, textures, warmth, stillness, and it is enough, more than enough, to simply be, to simply float in this hush of memory and glow. And nearby, you sense another room opening. This one, circular and filled with floating lanterns that shift their hue with your presence, each one pulsing softly as if greeting you. And in their glow, the floor disappears entirely, leaving you suspended in a gentle expanse of night. Not dark, but deep, and below, above, and around, more stories drift in every direction, like soft rain falling upward. And you realize that here there is no end to dreaming, no boundary between the teller and the listener, between the wanderer and the place they found. And so you let go a little more, your fingers unwinding your breath, stretching out like thread through water. And as the last of your weight dissolves into the hum of forgotten dreams, you are held completely, not by hands or arms, but by the silence itself, which now feels as familiar as a lullaby you've always known, and you surrender to it, floating, weightless, unhurried, home.